Joel Embiid, the Philadelphia 76ers' undeniable powerhouse, is facing some major hurdles this season. With fresh injury concerns threatening his future, fans are on edge, anxiously waiting to find out if his season is over. It's a tough pill to swallow, especially when so much of the team's success depends on his health. Embiid has been the driving force for the Sixers, carrying the weight of their hopes on his shoulders. But now, with a brutal injury sidelining him, everything's up in the air. Lower body issues have always been a concern for someone of his size and style of play, and this latest setback has everyone questioning just how much longer his body can hold up. If this injury keeps him out for the season, the Sixers will have no choice but to scramble and come up with a new game plan.
The same record as teams that are literally tanking. You need to be healthy, and it starts with Joel Embiid, and he's not. So I stand on what I said, that they need to shut him down, chalk it up, get a good pick, but it's a wrap for the Sixers.
Joel Embiid was sidelined for the first 6 games of the 2024-25 season.
Harris back to Embiid. Oh my gosh. And Embiid is down with his knee. That did not look good.
Due to what the Sixers referred to as left knee injury management. At first, the team tried to downplay the situation, claiming it wasn't a big deal despite Embiid missing the entire preseason. But when he also sat out the season opener, the NBA stepped in and hit the Sixers with a $100,000 fine for making inconsistent statements about his knee. The league confirmed Embiid was dealing with a left knee condition that kept him from playing, sparing the Sixers from facing more penalties. But this only sparked bigger questions about his long-term health, questions that have only gotten louder as the season has gone on. Joel Embiid made his season debut in mid-November against the New York Knicks, but it didn't take long for things to get complicated. After just 4 games, swelling in his left knee forced him to sit out Friday's win over the Brooklyn Nets and Sunday's loss to the Los Angeles Clippers. He also missed practice on Tuesday and has already been ruled out for Wednesday's game against the Houston Rockets. Head coach Nick Nurse wasn't caught off guard though. "We knew this was something we might have to deal with going into the season," he said after the Nets win. "They're doing what they can to manage the swelling, but it just didn't feel good enough for him to go." At Media Day, Joel Embiid and Sixers president Daryl Morey made one thing crystal clear. Keeping Embiid healthy this season was the top priority. Morey, chatting with ESPN's Tim Bontemps in mid-October, dropped the news that Embiid and even Paul George would probably skip a lot of back-to-backs, if not all of them. The big plan: make rest days and regular check-ins with Dr. Embiid's new normal throughout the season. When Embiid wasn't hitting the court for live scrimmages during training camp, the team played it off as part of the plan to keep him fresh. Same story when he missed every game in the preseason. It was all about long-term health. But when the season opener rolled around and Embiid still wasn't ready to go, the cracks started to show. That perfectly planned strategy suddenly looked a lot less solid, raising serious questions about whether this approach could really work all season long. It might not have been entirely up to the Sixers. Jake Fisher from the Stein line revealed that Embiid has a history of complicating the team's medical updates. He's known to take a hands-on approach, preferring some control over how his injuries are reported and listed. This has caused some frustration behind the scenes when it comes to keeping the public informed about his health. As for the knee issue, here's what we do know. Sam Amick from The Athletic shared that during the Olympics, Embiid's knee wasn't a major concern, at least not in terms of causing any setbacks or needing immediate attention. The Sixers were closely monitoring and managing it, but it wasn't something that needed to be publicly discussed at the time. In fact, the team was confident that Embiid would be ready to play by the start of the regular season. That's why they made so many optimistic comments about his health despite the knee being a factor they were working around. The situation seemed more about managing expectations than any major concern with his condition. Here's the big question that still looms, at least publicly. Is this the new normal for Embiid? If it is, that's definitely something to worry about. But it's not just about his game. Embiid's professionalism has come under fire recently. In a team meeting, Tyrese Maxey, the all-star guard, apparently called Embiid out for being late for everything and how it's affecting the locker room, impacting everyone from his teammates to the coaching staff. And this isn't a new issue. According to Fisher, Maxey's complaints about Embiid's tardiness have been around for his whole career. It's even gotten worse. Amick took it a step further during an appearance on FanDuel TV's Run It Back, saying that Embiid's professionalism has been under constant question, not just by the organization, but across the league too. Amick had some intriguing insights, revealing that the Sixers are well aware of the full scope of Embiid's injury. They just aren't keen on letting the public in on all the details. According to him, this wasn't some last-minute surprise. The team knew about the injury long before they decided to lock Embiid into that big extension, but there was a certain level of confidence that they could manage the situation moving forward. That said, Amick emphasized that the odds of keeping Embiid fully healthy aren't exactly stacked in their favor. It's more of an okay, not great situation. Amick went on to explain that while the Sixers felt comfortable enough with the situation to go ahead and make the deal, they aren't about to guarantee that Embiid's injury won't be an issue down the line. There's a definite risk involved, but the team clearly believes it's worth taking for the chance to have one of the league's best players locked in for the long haul. It's a bit of a gamble, but they're banking on their ability to manage Embiid's health moving forward. Still, there's no hiding the uncertainty that comes with it. The potential Embiid has displayed in recent years might have made that risk seem worthwhile, but right now, the Sixers are witnessing the downside of that gamble, and it's playing out in a way that could derail their season. The bottom line is, if these issues don't get sorted out soon, Embiid's career might be in real trouble. The 76ers could reach a point where they've had enough, and suddenly, that whole future cornerstone talk could go up in smoke. If this behavior keeps up, we might be staring down an early exit from Philly for Embiid, or even worse, an early end to his NBA career altogether. Things are spiraling, and that once bright future could be over way sooner than anyone ever imagined. Right now, Joel Embiid's future with the 76ers is totally uncertain. How the team handles his health and his commitment to the game could be the deciding factor in whether he stays a superstar or fades into something less. His knee problems are a huge red flag, especially with the heavy demands of the NBA and his all-out playing style. Even though the Sixers are giving him rest and closely monitoring his condition, his recent setbacks, and some sketchy questions about his mindset are starting to point towards some tough decisions for the team. If Embiid's knee problems keep flaring up, it could seriously shake up his career. The Sixers already dropped a huge extension on him, and while they're hopeful they can manage his condition, the truth is injuries could keep haunting him. If they don't get a handle on this, Embiid's role as the team's cornerstone might be on the line, and the possibility of his time in Philly, and maybe even his NBA career, coming to an early end could become very real. Then there's Embiid's relationship with his teammates, especially Tyrese Maxey. Reports about his tardiness and professionalism issues are concerning, and if that's not sorted out, it could hurt his leadership in the locker room. This could cause some serious tension, and if it goes on, it could fracture the team's chemistry even more. The 76ers are at a major crossroads right now. If Embiid's health keeps him sidelined, they might have to rethink their whole strategy, possibly shaking up the roster or even moving on without him. The future of both the team and Embiid's career is up in the air, and the next few months are going to be make or break for them. As the situation around Joel Embiid's injury continues to unfold, the Philadelphia 76ers are at a critical juncture. His health and professionalism are now key factors in determining not just the future of the team, but possibly the trajectory of Embiid's career. With uncertainty surrounding his long-term status, the 76ers are forced to confront some tough decisions that could reshape their season. The question remains, can they manage his health and his leadership, or will this be the start of a downward spiral? What do you think the future holds for Joel Embiid and the 76ers? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe for more updates as this story develops.
When Joel Embiid came back for the very end of the regular season, I thought to myself, what a warrior. He could so easily have not tried to make it back here. He's got the knee, all that kind of